What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you how to join this waistband. As you can see right here, you can use the same waistband on a normal trouser, on a shokoto, on a joggers, on whatsoever you're doing that you feel like this type of waistband will work for you. So I'll be taking you guys through the process of doing this step by step, so make sure you pay attention. Give the video a thumbs up before we even start, and make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification to get notified when I upload newer video. So let's get into the tutorial. If you like to learn more about professional fashion designing, I have a physical school and I do have an online class as well. A link will be below to this video. You can go ahead and enroll, or a phone number that you can call me directly to make an inquiry about my physical fashion school. I'm based in Lagos, Aja, precisely. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. And don't forget again, smash the like button. Smash that like button. So all you're going to need for this one is your elastic. You're going to need your elastic, and you're going to need your waistband. So now what you have to do is just to measure the wideness of your waist itself. You can see that. So here I have a total of 18 inches. 18 inches plus 18, 18 plus 18, that's 36. So I'm going to cut this a little bit longer than 36. A little bit more than 36. So you can see I have a total of 19 here in total. 19 in total. So that 19 that I have now, that's plus the joining allowance. So pay attention at this place. You're going to join and leave an opening for the rope. You're going to leave an opening for the rope. So pay attention. I'll show you guys how to get the opening for the rope. So here at this place, right? At the edge, the total wideness of the waist is 4 inches. So the waist itself is going to be a total of 2 inches when I fold them together like this. You can see 2 inches in total. So from the edge right here, let me bring the camera closer. Okay, so you can see it clearly. So from the edge, I'm going to measure my 2 inches, which is the center part. Let me mark that center part. From that 2 inches, I'm going to leave a quarter of an inch. I'm going to mark it to a quarter of an inch. So from that quarter of an inch, I'm going to leave 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to leave like 3/4 or half of an inch from that place. You can see that's the opening that we're going to have. So from the top, I'm going to stitch this straight line all the way to that 3/4. You can see. Then I'm going to leave that space, then stitch the other remaining. You see that? So let me take this to the sewing machine and do that, so you're going to understand it very, very well. So this is what I have. You can see I did a stitch and I stop at that place. Then I start here again and I stitch it all the way to the end. So if I open this up, this is what I'll be having. You see that? So that part, that hole is the one that's going to be in the front of the waist. Going to be in the front of the waist. So I'm going to stitch the edges. I'm going to open the stitch inside, then stitch the edges, and the front is going to look like this. You see that? It's not as difficult as you think. So let me go ahead and do that stitching. So here I do a straight stitch from the inside. You see that? So from the outside, this is what I'm supposed to be having. You see this? So after that is done, the next thing is our elastic. So in order to get the elastic, depending on how much you want the elastic to shrink on the waist area, right? Depending on what you want. So here, I'm just going to be cutting. I'm going to fold it together. You can see. Then I'm going to just measure and just leave some space in between. You can see that's the center part. Then I make it longer than the center part of the pocket. So if I drag the elastic backward, this is what I'm going to be having. See that? That's the amount of shrink that I'm going to be having in total. I still want this to be a little bit, so I'm going to cut some pieces out of it. See that? So if I join it together, you see it's almost at the middle. So if I join it together, then drag it, I should have a shrink like this. You see that? I should have the waist shrinking like this. So once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and join the elastic together. I'll join the elastic together. You can see after joining the elastic just like this, make sure it is straight like this. All you have to do is just to embed it in between. The elastic itself is actually a total of 1.5 inches. It's not up to 2 inches, right? So we are going to place it inside of the waistband. Inside of the waistband. You can see that. Let's put it inside just like that. Then we are going to lock the edge first. We're going to put it inside the waistband and use our sewing machine to lock that edge before we join it to our waist itself. You can see. Let me take this to the sewing machine and do that joining first. Just lock it like this at the edge all the way around. Then after, we can join it to the waist. So once you join it, this is what you're supposed to have. This is what you're supposed to be having. You can see this. This is what your waist is supposed to look like after putting the elastic inside. You see what I have here? This is what you're supposed to be having. So on my pants, my short, from the front panel, I'm just going to place this like this. Put this inside, just like you're saying. And I'm going to go ahead and run a straight stitch from the edge here, and also you're going to get your center point at the back. Fold it together and get your center point. So I'm going to start from the front and I'm going to stitch it all the way to the back. So here you can see from that center point, just hold it together like this. You can see here. You can see, just join it. Make sure the right side is facing the right side. The whole part has to be facing the fabric, right? Then just place it on top of under the stitch. Then we're going to join it together all the way around. Make sure the two notch align together. Then we're just going to stitch it straight. All the way straight. Take your time. Make sure it's relaxed. Just stitch it straight down. See that? You can see that. Just stitch it straight all the way, then you join it together with the other one. You can see what I'm having. Just like this. Just align it together. You see that? Just align it together. Make sure the notch actually align together with the back joining. You can see my notch at this place. That's to align together with the back joining. You can see that. Just take your time. Don't have to rush. And once you do the locking, you can see that notch area. Make sure it's aligned together with that side. Just run a straight stitch all the way to the notch area. You can see that. You're going to continue with the other side as well. You can see that. Just take your time. Just lock the final edges. So once that is done, you see what I have here. So the next thing is to interlock, overlock, just to overlock that edges. Just run it straight. Just overlock the edge. can see that. You can see that. Just take your time. Just overlock the edges all the way to the hem. And after that, this is what you're supposed to have. You can see the edges. You can see the front panel itself. You can see that. So let me take you guys to the table. So here, this is what your short is supposed to look like. Finally, you can see that. You can see the inside, how clean the inside is looking. See that? So the next thing we're going to do is the top stitch on the waist itself. We're going to top stitch that waist all the way around. So we're going to have a double stitch here. The reason for that stitch is so that when you're tying the rope will not be moving around on the waist. It has to be in between the waistband itself. So we're going to do two stitch. And we're going to create a line in between that stitch for the rope to pass around. It usually make the clothes look more authentic if there's no stitch at that place as well. So let me go ahead and do the stitch. Then we can pass the rope, and this is what the stitch is going to look like. You can see just two stitch in front all the way around. Then we can pass the rope, and you can see the final result. If you like the video so far, do make sure you smash the like button. That's very important. And do make sure you subscribe if you are yet to subscribe to the channel. So let me pass the rope. So you can see that the rope is going to exactly be at the center part. It cannot go beyond or under the rope itself. So I'm just going to pass the rope, and you're going to see the final result. Let's do that. So this is going to be our final result. As you can see right here, is as clean as possible. You can sell this, you can do mass production of this, you can gift someone this, you can smart whatsoever you can do, you can do. And if you want to learn more about tailoring, I have a physical class. I have 6 months apprenticeship. As long as you want, and I do have an online classes. If you're interested in that, a link will be below, or you can reach me on Telegram or via WhatsApp and make an inquiry about any of my classes. I choose these two video on the screen for you guys to go ahead and watch next. Watch those two videos next, and I will see you in the next class. Do have a lovely rest of your day. Bye bye and peace.